All right, so in this video, I have a new pair of Adidas sneakers. This is the Supernova Stride, which is a new model that has been released with three different types, kind of variations of the Supernova line. So this is the lower end tiered version of the Supernova, and then we have a couple other ones, and that is the Supernova Solution at $140. And then we also have the Supernova Rise as well. So I figured I would go ahead and do a comparison between these three shoes, let you guys know some of the things I like and dislike about the models, and hopefully you guys find this video somewhat informative. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Now, if you guys want to buy any of these three models that I'm going to be talking about in this video, I will link them in the description of the video. It'll take you directly over to Adidas website, and then you can choose between the three of them based on like my recommendations, I guess, from this video if you're interested. And then I also did want to let you guys know I do have two other Adidas shoes that are in the works. These are both like running shoes, and like I'm actually really excited to get this pair. And then this is the revised version that I haven't tried yet. This is the Adiwear Boston 12 with Lightstrike Pro in this midsole and Lightstrike 2.0. So it's a dual density foam midsole on here. A pretty nice looking pair. And then similar color blocking, we have the other pair. And this is the one I was kind of more excited to try just because it is lighter. It's more summer-like. It's the Adiwear Takumi Sen 10. So this is the 10th version of these, and it has Lightstrike Pro on this midsole, and it looks like it's full-length Lightstrike Pro. I've worn these a little bit, really like what they have to offer. And honestly, both of these are pretty awesome shoes, but I'll have full reviews on these on the channel very soon, so subscribe and make sure you go ahead and check back on the channel. But back to these three right here. I did a detailed review of these two already for those people that want to see a direct comparison between like the upper tiered versions. So we have the Rises and then the Solutions as well. But the lower tiered ones I was honestly very interested in as well. So big shout out to Adidas for actually sending this pair over to me. I requested it and they actually fulfilled it. And so it's greatly appreciated when they actually end up sending me the product that I'm interested in. So they did send me the product, but they don't get to like preview my video or like dictate anything I say in the videos. So this is just purely my opinion on what I like and dislike about these shoes. So first things first, they all look very similar, but the main component about these shoes that make these a little bit different than the other pairs of Adidas shoes on the market is they do feature the Dreamstrike Plus midsole cushioning technology, which is not something we've seen before. These are the very first ones to market with that Dreamstrike. This one I think was actually the very first one, the Rises, and then we had the Solutions, and now the takedown version. And so from what I understand, the Dreamstrike Plus is basically just like a little bit of a denser version of the Lightstrike Pro. It doesn't feel like honestly that much denser though. Lightstrike Pro is pretty darn soft and very, very responsive, but these offer a little bit of a different density of foam and something I find pretty comfortable on feet as well. Is it the softest and squishiest on the market? No. Is it better than other things out there? Yes. I find these like right in that sweet spot of like a great shoe that you could wear. It's very versatile because they're not too soft and squishy, but there's a nice amount of cushion in the midsole to make you really feel like you have something different underfoot, which is what these things offer. So starting off with the Supernova Stride, first things first, this colorway I actually really like. I mean, this colorway is like an Oreo colorway with a black midsole, little hits of black and white on the outsole, and then you kind of have the like the Oreo effect on the upper, something like we've seen on like the Ultra Boost back in the day. Anytime an Ultra Boost came in like an Oreo colorway with a black midsole, I was pretty much on it. But this very much reminded me of that, and on feet, 100%, I like this colorway better than the other two that I have out there. So the Supernova Stride is $110, and they actually weigh less than the other two models. This one weighs 9.5 ounces and does feature that Dreamstrike midsole. Adidas website description says, "We've designed the Supernova Stride to equip runners with comfort, support, and fit for their everyday runs. Dreamstrike Plus Superfoam is our re-engineered superfoam purposefully placed in the forefoot for a supportive push-off and maximum comfort. To complete the comfortable midsole, we've added a supportive Carrier EVA to make sure your transitions are both dynamic and supportive. With Supernova Stride, get ready to run with confidence thanks to the Adiwear Outsole made of durable rubber to provide optimal traction where runners need it most." So again, these weigh 9.5 ounces, which is pretty decent. Like honestly, it's a pretty nice lightweight shoe. And as they mentioned, there is a Carrier foam. So that's where this one is a little bit more confusing, I think, than the other ones, specifically in this colorway, since it's a blacked out midsole. It looks like it's all one foam. However, there are two different types of foam. So when you actually squish on the Dreamstrike Plus here, it's actually a lot softer than that Carrier foam underneath. From the durometer test I did, it's about a 27 for the Dreamstrike Plus and about a 30, 31, 32 for the Carrier foam. So definitely dual density, definitely softer in the Dreamstrike than in the other areas. But the reason why it gets a little confusing is because on the outsole of the shoe, I believe this white section here is actually Dreamstrike underneath, and then the black section under here is actually a Carrier foam. So this is softer in the white section, even though it's painted on in black on the sides. So my point being is the Dreamstrike is not consistently colored with the Dreamstrike on the bottom and on the sides. But overall, it feels really nice on feet. Now, the engineered mesh is pretty normal. Then you have fused on overlays. You have extra reinforcement in the toe box as well as around the heel counter. But then you have a nice amount of cushion around the heel and then a decent amount of cushion for the tongue as well. Overall, it's just a very wearable pair of sneakers. So then you step it up to the Supernova Rise, which is $140, but they do weigh a little bit more at 9.8 ounces. Is it worth buying this over the other base model? I would say yes, because I tried these on side by side, and actually the midsole compounds in the Supernova Rise is much softer on feet than on the Strides. Strides is like noticeable, you feel like a nice amount of cushioning there. You feel it definitely more in the Rises. In fact, side by side, I did a review on these two, as I mentioned. You feel the squish more in the Rise than you do in the Supernova Solution as well. So which is the most comfortable out of the three? From my personal point of view, I'd say that the Supernova Rise is the most comfortable of the three. It's definitely the one that I would recommend trying out if you wanted to try any of the three out. Now, the sizing of all three of these, I would say is true to size. I'm a 9.5. The 9.5 fits me just fine. I would say they're fairly wide foot friendly as well. You do have a little bit of extra room in the toe box, which is nice. And overall, the heel width is fairly consistent, but the Supernova Solutions is just a tad bit wider than the other two. And really that's what makes the difference between the Supernova Rise and the Solution, is the fact that there's a little bit of a wider base. And then you also do have a little bit of a different foam compound on the Solutions, make it a little bit firmer, but also the main purpose is it adds a little bit of extra stability to this model than the other one. So anyway, back to the Rise. The other major difference between the base Stride model and these, not only do you get the Dreamstrike midsole that is a little bit more cushioned, but you also get some support rods on the bottom of the shoe. They also call out a sandwich mesh upper, and that sandwich mesh upper is definitely superior to the basic standard mesh that you get in the Rises. And I like that they use a slightly different color of mesh on the bottom layer as well. And again, the Supernova Solution is $140, similar to the Rise. The major differences, again, that I mentioned is that these have an added support and added width to the shoe, but they also do weigh a little bit more at 10.3 ounces. So which one should you buy? Again, out of the three, I would go with the Supernova Rise. If you need a little bit of extra support with a little bit of extra width, I would go with the Solution. However, it is a little bit firmer on foot and it is a little bit heavier. If you want the lightest version out of the three, but not the most premium feel on feet, it's still a very nice experience though. You could go with the Strides at $110. So these are $30 cost savings over the Rises. Personally, I would just spend the extra 30 bucks and get the Rises. However, if you can get the Strides on sale as low as $88, now you're talking about a $52 savings from these versus these. So would you rather save the 52 bucks and get the cheaper version, or should you just pony up and get the bigger one? Honestly, I think if you're not like super into like comfort in general, you're going to be super happy with this one, especially if you get it for like a lower tiered price point. And the colorway is my favorite out of the three. I think on feet, these ones actually look better than the other two. On feet though, they don't feel as good. They're not as premium with the midsole. The upper is not as premium. The tongue padding is just a little bit less as well. So overall experience on feet is a lower tiered version, which is exactly what you're paying for. However, overall, it's still a really nice experience on feet. Something that if you buy, you put on, I think most people are going to be happy. And of course, I always post the deals on sale. As soon as these newer products start going down in price, like I'll be posting this one specifically a lot, because when the Rise drops in price, I really feel like this is going to be a nice budget friendly option when the price goes down for people to really try out and realize that this is a really nice technology from Adidas and something new, something different than Adidas Boost, something different than Lightstrike, something different than Lightstrike Pro. I really think that this formula is something that they can definitely work with in the future. My only suggestions in the future would be just make a little bit of a wider version, and then maybe don't use as much Carrier foam. Definitely just go Dreamstrike Plus midsole completely through, make it a little bit softer and squishier, make a recovery version for myself, make it a little bit wider, like I said, and I would be super stoked on that. The upper, I really like. The overall look, style, I really like. The colorways they have available on the website, for the most part, I really like. And you know, the tongue cushioning, the heel cushioning, all really nice stuff on feet. I would also say maybe add Continental rubber to the outsole. That's just another premium product that Adidas owns. It would be nice to be able to see at that 140 price point, but it is what it is. Anyways, if you guys want to buy any of these three, again, go ahead and check the link in the descriptions and take you over to Adidas website. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of the day, and make sure you subscribe to the channel and check out my other reviews that I have on some of these other ones that Adidas has that are some really nice offerings, man. Anyways, again, have a good one, and hopefully we'll see you back for some more content. All right, peace, guys.